Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azar Mathani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondi.
Great to be here.
What?
Why'd you stop? Why'd you stop there?
I wasn't ready for you to change it up again. Yeah. I'm also joined by the rejuvenated Tony O.
Hello. Since Tommy doesn't want to use that, I'll do that.
Tommy, why do you gotta go and keep changing on me?
Yeah.
I'm not getting any excitement from the games or my team, so I gotta do something here to balance that.
Is this your way of spicing up your life?
Yeah, that's all I got, so I gotta take it. Throw you guys off a little bit, keep you guys. Your teams are rolling, so I gotta do something to maybe knock you off your perch a little bit. I don't think it's gonna do
all right,
much.
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, I don't think it's doing much, Tommy, I'll be honest, but yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Anyway, happy family.
Might as well. Oh, I was gonna hop right into it, but sure, happy family. What is Family Day?
I don't know. I always forget this is a holiday until like a couple of days before the weekend. So, yeah.
Always, always a welcome surprise. Mm-hmm. I say we should have more family days.
Yeah, every weekend should be Family Day, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Happy Friends Day. Happy
Siblings Day. I don't have siblings.
Happy.
So.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Tommy, you're like a brother to me. You can have a siblings day.
Go.
Come on.
I'll take that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Government should get going on that.
Have we wasted enough time at the top now?
Yeah.
Fulfilled our obligations?
Idle banter.
Quote-unquote banter section?
Yeah. Check. All right.
Tick. Done.
No, it's not because there wasn't a pun anywhere in there. So technically we missed out on one of the checklists.
The puns don't have to come in the idle banter section. They show up wherever they need to. They show up as required.
All right. Hopefully it's a good one.
Something else that showed up as required was Arsenal coming from behind to win away to Aston Villa. Tony, the narratives.
I was exhausted at the end of this game.
Yeah, still is.
Imagine this was the opening game of the weekend, right?
Yeah, it was 7:30 kickoff.
Imagine you wake up at 7:30 on a Saturday just to watch this, and then you're just done. Done for the entire weekend.
I couldn't sleep afterwards. I wanted to go back to bed, but I was, after celebrating Jorginho's goal / Martinez's header. I just had too much adrenaline. It's a crazy game because it just felt like every time Villa went forward, they were going to score. They didn't get forward that many times, but their first two attacks turned into goals. This is what
you did. I did feel like both teams should have scored more.
Arsenal missed a bucket load of chances. Nketiah missed a couple of sitters. Odegaard.
The Odegaard one.
Odegaard's nice too. Yeah.
He has that in him. He does have that miss in him. I've seen that before. But first half we were just. we had two shots in the first half. We were terrible. Like, we still had that hangover from the City defeat. But second half, we were right back in it. And I've got to say, Zinchenko and Odegaard were fantastic. And Jorginho, he's had 2 starts for us. He's been pretty good in both. I think he was excellent in this one. Throughout, to be honest. He kept making sure we got forward. And, what can you say about Starboy? Saka, he's always the one. He's always the one when there is adversity. He's the first to step up. He either gets a goal or gets an assist, breaks the game open. Zinchenko got the goal he deserved, but Christ, Jorginho. I didn't even know he had that shot in him. Like, the technique on it is...
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it before. Is it true that was...
You have from the penalty spot? I don't remember seeing it for Chelsea.
The entire sequence for Jorginho's goal, I've never seen everyone on the pitch be so unlucky at the same time. Jorginho's incredibly unlucky that shot cannons off the crossbar because, like, I think 8 times out of 10 that shot goes in.
Yeah.
And then Martinez is unlucky that it bounces back off his head.
I mean,
though, objectively, very funny.
Yeah, that's what made the goal. Because he spent the entire game time wasting,
so funny,
winding everyone up, and then beautiful. It's such a well-timed header as well, right? Like, one of the all-time greats. We have Van Persie versus Spain. Drogba's had a few in there, but yeah, Martinez, like, yeah, sensational. Let's not forget Arteta's choreography with who was the ref? I can't remember the ref's name now. Whatever. That was brilliant. When the ref waited for us to get to the other side of the field before blowing for the ball rolling. It's like, okay, sure, ball's rolling. Yeah.
I think he was notified by the 4th official. It just took him some time. A bit harsh on the ref. Funny from Arteta, though.
Yeah. Oh, and then Martinelli scoring in an open goal because Martinez had decided to be self-indulgent and come up for a header he was never going to score. It's just wonderful.
Emery actually came out and said he did not want him up there, and he just all on his own. Yeah, he
said it was stupid. He said,
pretty much.
For his career, he knows to never do it again. I don't know what that means, but it's one of my favorite wins for this team. Honestly, we haven't had a comeback of this nature in years. Closest one I can think of was like 2008 against Bolton when we were 2-0 down, 1-3-2. But we needed that because we've been in a rut of late. So we needed some positivity in the club. I think this was a real injection of, positive vibes. So.
It's absolutely, like, the biggest thing is it coming back, like you said, on that run of, was it no wins in 3 Premier League games, if I'm not wrong?
At least, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Something like that, with, like, the Everton defeat and the City defeat all in there, especially coming on the heels of that one against City in midweek, which was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
but
we had a meltdown. I was starting to look at the league table to see how far down we could fall. I was like, okay, we're only 10 points ahead of Tottenham or something like that with a game in hand. I was looking at Newcastle. I'm like, fuck, where does this slide end? But, yeah.
Did Tony not announce last week that that's it, title race, Arsenal out of the race? Did he not say that's it?
Yeah,
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I've not changed my tune to that.
Oh, you're not changing your tune after the win? Okay.
Yeah. Guys, City have never lost.
Tommy, you have to understand. We're talking to an Arsenal fan who is very nervous, very paranoid, believes in several conspiracy theories.
Hey, I've been proven right. I've been proven right.
I'm not just talking about the refs.
We will talk Lee Mason.
I will leave it up to the listeners to decide what other conspiracy theories you subscribe to. But you're a man who loves a little tinker with the conspiracies. Of course, he's nervous about this. Arsenal haven't won a league title since 2004.
Yeah, and Man City have never.
What Arsenal fan isn't nervous about this?
Man City have never lost a title race in the Premier League era that was close. They've never lost a title race that was close. You have to kill them early. We could have won the title this week. That's the way I saw it. If we beat Brentford, we beat City, and we beat Villa, we could have killed off their interest, made them just turn all their attentions towards the Champions League. You keep them alive, they'll eventually kill you. Like, it's just facts. I'm just trying to make sure that we don't slide into some kind of slump where we're battling for top 4. So, the longer we can keep pushing them, the better. But, yeah, my opinion hasn't changed. I think you don't want to be fighting with City till the death. Doesn't end well.
Exactly. You're right. You can't let your Odegaard down.
First point of the day. Well done.
Okay.
I thought about it when you were talking about him being in on goal. I just didn't have a chance to interject. So here we are.
Yeah.
Come through eventually. But quickly on the Villa side, just very briefly, I do think Emery messed up by taking Ollie Watkins off because I thought he was having an excellent game.
Oh, I forgot about Unai, yeah.
I did not like him taking Watkins off.
This is Unai, though. That's what he does. He always rings it in the second half. Like,
Yeah.
he can't help himself. He tries to protect what he has. But although Leon Bailey added a lot when he came on. He did add quite a bit. I mean, he forced that brilliant save by Ramsdale, no?
Oh, I've got absolutely no issues with bringing Bailey on. I just don't think Watkins should have been sacrificed to do that. I would have loved to see both of them on together.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
Yeah.
we need to move on. And following up on this Arsenal win, Man City travelled away to Forest, missed a shit ton of chances, and wouldn't you know it, right at the end, Christiano Woodnaldo pops up to score an equaliser. City drop points away to Forest.
You can't say that.
Advantage Arsenal.
Cristiano Woodnaldo.
No, you can't say that.
What?
That's really
I
bad.
can say that.
It's really bad.
I can say that.
Yeah.
They've got the same movement range now.
Wow. He's back in form. He's scoring like every week now.
Congrats to him.
Yeah.
Congrats to him. Build up his record. Go on.
What was it? Messi's never.
Chris Wood has more Premier League goals this season.
Ronaldo has more Saudi League goals than Messi and Chris Wood combined, so that's why he's the greatest. Anyway.
Well, just you wait until Chris Wood gets out there.
I think we've taken this too far. Yeah, what the hell was that game? It's a stupid
Man City.
Stupid game.
The amount of chances that they had, the amount of open goals that they had. You had Haaland skying one over the bar.
I couldn't believe that one.
Twice.
Phil Foden running through on goal, has the option to either shoot himself past to Haaland, does neither. It's just they had free headers from corners.
Oh, that Laporte. Was it the Laporte header,
Rodri.
I believe?
That was a Rodri.
Was it Rodri?
When De Bruyne crossed it.
There was also a Laporte one.
Yeah, I'm thinking Laporte one. Just wide open and it goes straight at Navas. And Navas
yeah,
just,
that
was
like,
that one.
blocks it, yeah.
Keylor Navas made a save with his balls. Like,
Hey, props to him. He
City
did make some big
everything
saves.
except score. Yeah, I guess you could say it was a ballsy performance from Navas.
We're thinking Navas' error for the silver goal, right? I mean, that's straight down the middle. It's great technique, but it's straight down the middle. No?
Lots of
It looked
lots
like
of
he
power,
didn't get
though.
himself set. He didn't get himself set,
Yeah.
and then he went with his wrong hand.
Yeah.
As a result,
Exactly. But it's a good strike. But your keeper's got to be saving that. He looked very small in net, the way he spread himself. But the Forest goal was really nice. Like, the play out, like, it was a really nice passing move. Ending, as you said, with Chris Wood just about onside.
you can use his full name if you want.
Yeah. There's a fun stat. All 11 outfield players for Forest actually had a touch in the lead up to that goal, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
It's really nice. Good football. Yeah. Maybe the only football they got to play in the game, but
that's all they need. Yeah.
So they had what, like 10% possession for most of that one.
Something like that.
It was
all from that move.
Genuinely, I don't think it was far off that.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson are both having very good seasons, especially of late. Forest have been quite hard to beat at home. I think they're 7 Premier League games unbeaten at home or something like that. Like, they've been a solid team at home, but I mean, this one's all down to City. They created the chances.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the XG for this game was, but if City's was north of 5, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think depending on where you read, it was like 4.47 or something, but could be over 5 in some other models. Yeah, it's crazy. Like 4.47 with the chances they had, they should have won by like 7 goals. Let's be honest. Yeah, just crazy. But I'll take it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's the fact that they beat Arsenal and then they do this to hand the initiative back to Arsenal right after that Villa game too. Just an absolutely crazy day at the top.
Who do City have in the Champions League?
Leipzig.
Leipzig. Okay.
I think. Is it Leipzig? It is Leipzig. Yeah, they play at Leipzig on Wednesday at 3 p.m. our time. So, yeah,
Right.
that should be easy. I would say.
You would think.
Yeah.
Hey man, I was told Forest would be easy, so
Tommy's not interested in Premier League. he's only interested in Champions League.
why are you interested in the Champions League, Tommy? Chelsea losing there too.
Yeah. We're what competition? Oh yeah, we're not in any other competition. Okay, so we can't really be interested in anything.
Are you out of the FA Cup as
Yeah,
well?
of course.
Yeah, they're out of everything. Man.
Of course.
Oh,
There's nothing to
Shit.
play for.
I mean, well, nothing to play for, but we can't talk about them. Chelsea 0, Southampton 1, home loss to Southampton. James Ward-Prowse moving to win within one free kick of David Beckham in the all-time Premier League standings. But, my God, Chelsea.
Yeah. Well done, Southampton. Do they even have a manager?
They do
Or
not.
is this just some? No.
They do not. And that's what made.
The classic no manager bounce.
Did you see Potter's interview afterwards? He
No,
was,
I
because
did.
they're
What did he
so
say?
basically saying
bland.
that he was saying that the loss is not that bad. Like, it's disappointing, but they just hired Dortmund in the Champions League. So they were not well prepared. Like, it affected preparation. It's like they do not have a coach. Like, Southampton literally do not have a coach. I don't know how that affects
You have
their
like
preparation.
30 registered players.
Yeah.
Just swap out the entire 11.
And he did, more or less. Yeah. Tommy, you still think he sees out the season?
I mean, there are
Wow.
reports.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can hear the life draining out of Tommy's voice.
Hey, this is
Just as he's talking.
this is what it was like. I think for you, maybe not even this bad, but the worst part is like we don't even score goals. I don't even know the feeling of a goal being scored. I was looking at some of the stats in the last 8 Premier League matches. We've scored 4 goals. That's like what? Like terrible. It's just like, I mean, what else we got here? Winless in our last 8 away matches. Potter has 2 wins in 15 games. Aspilicueta.
I have a stat for you. Chelsea are now 11 points off the top 4, but also 11 points from the relegation zone.
Mm-hmm. 11 points at the top 4. I thought it was worse than that, to be honest. Yeah, what is it?
Good and bad. Good and bad.
I mean, there's the trust the process where you're like, oh yeah, the results will come. But when the game itself is so dire, like what clear-cut chances did we create in that game?
There was a
Sterling
one.
No, you had some. Sterling.
Sterling. But besides that, it's not like it was a complete onslaught on Southampton's goal. We struggled to create really much. I mean, there was one end of the game. Who was it that got through? Was it Gallagher? I can't remember now. But there was one good chance they had. But it's just it's boring, to be honest. It's boring. It's not fun. There's no joy in this game. You know what I will say, Fofana had a good sort of first half. There's a positive
Which
thing in there.
Which Fofana?
Datro played the first half.
Datro,
yeah,
okay.
he had a decent first half. Yeah, he had a decent first half, so it was kind of fun to watch. A striker that wasn't afraid to, take
Tony,
on
I
some
think
players.
Tommy's just appreciating watching anyone who is actually a striker.
Yeah, fair enough. Aubameyang isn't
But-
functional these days, so.
Okay, so let's talk about Mudryk for a second. It was what 80, 90 million for him. What
100.
if you took that money? 100. My apologies. What if you took that 100 mil that you spent on Mudryk? And I mean, I just don't understand the thought process around Chelsea's recruitment in January. If you take that 100 million you spent on Mudryk, what if you went to Juventus, who are having like financial issues of their own, and you offered them 100 million for Vlahovic? Why not try that?
Yeah, where were you when Chelsea were signing players in January? We needed your voice in that boardroom,
I am here for the comedy, and when Chelsea are doing silly things, I find it best to just sit back and watch, not get involved, and make my comments from a safe distance.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. It's all good.
I do think Mudryk is a good player. I just think Chelsea. I'm not even convinced that if they sign Vlahovic, it will be different because they'll have a threat in the box. But like, can you trust them to get anything right at this point? Like they have too many. Everything is wrong at Chelsea. Like everything with the players they have. Like they should be scoring goals with or without a center forward. Like they have João Felix, Sterling, like Mudryk, Madrid. Like look at these players, man. Like
I see you have not mentioned Kai Havertz in all of this.
I refuse. I refuse. Like
every Chelsea fan I've spoken to is cursing his name right now.
I think he's used up all his Champions League winning goodwill at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly blame to be had on the players for sure. There's I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of blame towards Potter for sure. I mean, he can't figure out a system or his best team or getting the best out of his players yet. You know, maybe he needs a lot more time than I thought. But at least you want to, some goals or a win here or there, to kind of like keep things positive, but it's not there. I will say though, on a positive note, Aspie, who got kicked in the face, he did post. He should have been a red card. 100%. I will say,
absolutely, absolutely should have been a red.
Challenge. I don't know how you don't send him off for that.
He did post. He did post that he's A-OK, which is good. Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
A positive from such a bad situation out there. We lost to Dortmund midweek too, eh?
the thing with Potter is... Oh, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Nah, give it. I got nothing, man.
You had something. Go on. Just let it all out.
We're here for you. We're here for you.
Yeah, the Dortmund game, actually, we played pretty good in the first half. Like, we created a lot of chances and just couldn't score. Like, no matter what we did, just like João off the crossbar, he had another good chance. Like, there was, in that game, I was kind of like thinking, oh, okay, we got something. Then we go and lose in the second half. And then here you come out, we can't even put the ball in the back and against the bottom of the team in the Premier League with no manager. Honestly, every time you guys would send a tweet or a message, I'm like, oh, that's got to be Potter sacked. That's it. Well, you got to read it. That's it. So Potter watches on for sure. Any tweet that comes out from you guys, I'm going to assume it's him being sacked.
Jesus, putting a lot of pressure on any tweet I send. That's our main form of communication.
He had all these issues at Brighton as well. Like, we really liked his football, but how many times, like, XG Brighton became a thing? He never had a starting 11 at Brighton. He always, rotated
and tinkered.
Yeah, so I guess when you're at Brighton, those things look really interesting, but when you have to actually win stuff, like, you can't be inconsistent this way, and I don't think it works.
I wouldn't say that Chelsea are inconsistent right now. They're very consistent, but just in the worst way possible.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we've
let's
we
broken
done?
Tommy enough.
With,
let's move on.
good.
Let's move on. Man United 3, Leicester 0. I enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Leicester battered us for about 20 minutes, then conceded the opening goal because Woutface just does not have a brain. I'm convinced he is a fan in a David Luiz wig. Nothing will change my mind on that. And yeah, the moment United went 1-0 up, the rest of the game was comfortable. 2 from Rashford, 1 from Sancho. You guys had a Sancho Anthony bet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I go with Sancho?
had
I think
Sancho?
I had Anthony. I think
Yeah,
so.
and I think,
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
I had Sancho.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I mean, that's just one goal, though.
Who's ahead? I don't know. I haven't really been.
We'll
I
revisit
haven't
that.
checked
We'll
either.
revisit that. But I think
But-
every United game now should just start with 1-0 Rashford because he's just gonna score. It's inevitable at this point. He's gonna get his name on the goal sheet.
Something ridiculous, like 16 goals since the World Cup, something like that.
Yeah,
Just
around there.
absolutely
I can't
insane. He's scoring almost a goal a
Cannot
game.
wait for him to sign that contract so that this comes to an end.
Right, reverts right back.
Don't put that. Don't
I'm
put that
putting
evil
that
on
out
me.
there, and it's just these players.
How dare you? How
I don't
dare
trust
you?
them.
How dare you?
Jesus, Anthony only has 4 goals.
How
That's
dare you.
terrible. Wait,
Yeah, he's not. He's been.
Wait, what's Sancho have?
He's gone very cold. Sancho, I think, might be on 3 or 4 as well now.
that's terrible.
Okay.
Anthony, God, so bad.
Well, he's not as bad as Fai's defending. That's if you can call what he does defending. I don't know.
I mean, for that first goal, giving the ball away and then just blindly charging into midfield, leaving all that space behind them. When you're up against Rashford, I'm sure every team talk revolved around don't give him that space to run in behind, and Faiz does the singular thing he cannot do.
It's
Shocking.
it's a nice ball from Bruno,
Outside
though,
of the
right?
boots, yeah.
Like
Yeah, no,
yeah,
lovely.
outside the boot,
Lovely,
yeah.
lovely pass, but he has such a wide margin for error
Fair
on it
enough.
as well because of all that
De
space.
Gea was back to his absolute best, by the way. He
Jeez.
made some.
The save on the
That
Iheanacho
was
header
crazy.
is just.
Yeah.
This is the thing with De Gea. As much as I will complain about his distribution, his lack of coming out for crosses, I don't think I've seen a better
No,
shot
but
stopper.
the thing with it, did you see the goal he conceded against Barcelona in midweek? The one from the corner kick.
The
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
He should save that. He has these moments that you're like, what's going on? And then he pulls out these
Did you-
crazy saves. I'm like, God.
Did you see a save against Rafinha in that game where he just jumps up and catches
Yeah,
the ball?
I mean, yeah,
Instead-
he was showing off there.
Yeah, that was pretty.
I enjoyed Rafinha's face off.
He did get his goal in the end, Rafinha. Good for him. But
Yeah.
He got his goal.
he wasn't
but-
trying to at that point.
No, Rafinha genuinely was. Well, other than the bit where Rashford skinned him alive for the second goal,
Yeah,
he had a very
he was
good
their
game
best
in
player,
that
and I
one.
think Barcelona played very well. But you should
Yeah.
see them off.
I
in
agree.
the second half.
But I'm genuinely, I'm very excited for that second leg. Like that game against Barcelona, I know it's like a Europa League round of 32 game, but it was just a lot of fun to watch United and Barcelona go at it.
Yeah. Who else scored in? Oh, Sancho scored. Yeah. Basically, with his first
sir.
touches since coming off the bench, right? Yeah.
Hey, yeah, roundabout because it's some point midway through the second half, there was a lovely 30-second spell where Sancho and, of all people, Aaron Wan-Bissaka were just passing the ball among themselves through about 3 to 4 of the Leicester players over and over again, and that may be my favorite 30 seconds of football this season, because imagine getting passed to death by Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Sancho came on at number 10, didn't he? That
did.
is
He looked
his
very
position.
good at number 10.
Should not be playing wing.
He looked really good. I actually really like the system of
Yeah.
Sancho at 10,
Yeah,
Bruno
100%.
at wing.
He should not be playing wing. He can't beat his man around the outside, but he's a very technically secure player. Yeah, could be a future there for him. Yeah, it'd be nice to see him playing at something close to his best. So, yeah,
He's looked quite good
It's
since
sabbatical.
getting reintegrated back into
yeah.
the squad. Yeah, but let's move on to the top four battle, where Newcastle probably had the better of most of this game against Liverpool, but lost 2-0 because they had a complete meltdown in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what to call. I mean, Almiron should score, but Alisson is one of the best keepers one-on-one. That ball from Trent for what's his face, Nunez.
Oh,
was
Nunez,
sensational.
yeah.
Nunez's goal.
Sensational ball. I was gonna say it's a good touch.
Hey,
but
do you think Nunez has a good
Nah,
touch there? I was gonna say, do you think it's a good
probably
touch?
he gets away with it because it comes back off his
He gets-
chest.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's an accomplished finish. I mean, you should score in that position, but he did well. He's been playing well of late, even if the goals haven't been flowing per se. But yeah, Liverpool just had a 10-minute spell where they did everything right, and Newcastle just did literally everything wrong. Like,
I mean, when you say everything wrong, adding Nick Pope to that takes it beyond everything. I don't
reflexes?
know what was going through
goalie
this man's
reflexes.
head.
Yeah, it has
Because
to be.
he misses his header. I mean, I don't know what that was. That was a sad attempt at a diving header, and then he just grabs the ball. It's like, yeah.
Hey, in fairness, very quick reflexes to grab the ball in that position.
Like, I saw Leno do something similar. like he patted it away after he missed his kick. But he literally grabbed it and then holds on to it.
Holds on to
He
it.
doesn't even try to hide it.
He just curls up into a ball like
Yeah.
keepers do.
Like,
Just hilarious. And then Newcastle, like, they had chances.
they hit the
like,
post. Dan
after
Burn,
that.
was it, that hit the post?
They actually looked, yeah, it was. They looked very good when down to 10 men. But, Liverpool did what they had to
Yeah.
do, saw them off. And Newcastle have dropped out of the top four.
Game in hand, but yeah. I was saying this earlier in the season. Any chance Liverpool can do it?
Oh, they have two
They're
games
not out of it
in
yet.
hand too, right? On Spurs, right? I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. Okay. Oh, they can make that run.
You
They can
think
make
so?
that run
Yeah.
For sure.
They're
Oh,
only
yeah.
7
Oh,
points.
yeah.
They're 7 points behind Spurs, and like you said, 2 games in hand. So, yeah, it's not impossible. That's
Plenty of season left, and I think they play one of those games in hand
This week?
next midweek.
okay.
Yeah.
So, who's their game in hand? Just
Because I think they
they
have
do.
Madrid on Tuesday
It's Wolves.
or Wednesday, and they have their
Wolves at home.
weekend game against. Oh, is there
Midweek,
against
yeah,
Wolves?
midweek is
Okay,
Wolves,
that
yeah.
is interesting because Wolves gave them a tough time in the FA Cup, so that should be interesting.
we'll see. Yeah.
I mean, the team that took their place that we already mentioned was Spurs. They beat West Ham 2-0. West Ham kind of just rolled over and died. And I will point out, for the second week in a row, a West Ham player managed to get away with the most blatant handball in the box.
Oh.
I think it was Carrere this
Yeah.
time. But just an astonishingly blatant handball. Every bit as bad, almost as bad as the Souček one against
No,
Chelsea
it was
from
not.
last week.
Not as nowhere near.
I said almost.
Almost.
I said almost.
Hey, what you will
I
say
said
though?
almost. I caught myself. Relax, Tommy.
okay.
Relax. I'm not here to hurt
Hey,
you. I'm here to help
Hey,
you.
you know what? You were calling for.
Check yourself. Check yourself.
We were calling for Son to get benched, and guess what? He got benched, and then comes on and scores. So maybe that's what he needed, is a little sit down there, the classic Kane Son combination back on the menu.
Last time he was on the bench, he scored a hat trick. So, yeah, maybe this.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
he's getting worse.
regressing.
Getting worse off the bench. Clearly.
What do
On the other hand, though, West Ham. Well, you were saying,
I was
Tom?
gonna say, no, you're right. What do West Ham do? They're in 18th place. They're in the relegation zone right now, and they're sticking with Moyes at this point. It feels like they're gonna stick with him the rest of the season. They can't score.
The big thing is last season they were one of the best teams from set
Yeah.
pieces, especially offensively. This season, they are bottom 3 in the league, if not the worst. And you need to look at the coaching for that. Like, what's changed with these set pieces? What are they doing wrong?
Yeah, no, actually, I have the stats for that. They were third in headed goals last season. They're 20th this season. Set piece goals, they were second. They're 18th. So, yeah, like, they've really fallen on set pieces in terms of their output.
That's their bread and butter. If they're not doing that, like, I don't know, what does Souček really bring to the team aside from being a good presence at set pieces?
You make some tacos.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough. Keep playing him.
I mean, they're too good of a team to go
In
down,
fairness,
right?
he's a good goalie too. He's a good goalie.
Who's down
they,
there?
they must be, right?
Are they?
Well, Leeds and Southampton are below. And then, of course, the right.
I don't know. Honestly, like.
Yeah. 19 goals, man. That they've scored 19 goals, which is...
Yeah, you keep saying that, and that's the thing. It's like, you need to score to stay up in this league. That's how Leeds survived in Bielsa's first season. If you don't score goals, you're not going to win games. You're not going to win games, you're not going to get enough points. And right now, West Ham are not getting enough points.
I just don't see a world where Bournemouth survive. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's tough to see that, yeah.
So, I don't know. They did win this week, so you never know. But, like, yeah, I think West Ham will be fine.
Too close.
They'll have an Everton last season recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, keep waiting for that run to happen. Yeah, I feel like it will be eventually will happen. Like, they do create chances, right? It's not like they're not creating chances. Yeah, they create. They just can't. I
remember one. Yeah,
they didn't create much against Spurs. Chance. They had the Bowen shot at the start.
Yeah, breakaway where Bowen, like he kind of shot early. Like, this was after, I think, the first goal. He nearly equalized right away, but they don't create any. Well, I haven't seen them creating anything. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
it's dicey. It looks very dicey.
I was gonna say something else. Thank God.
I thought you were gonna do
don't.
Very right.
Okay.
Very.
Never mind.
Very
ricey. And yeah.
You know, a certain Everton coach.
Oh, very dicey.
Yeah, yeah. We really had to.
Thank
help
you.
you
Well,
with
you know
that
what?
one.
No, you know what? I needed the assist. Yeah, you were the Phil Foden setting me up for the Erling Haaland tap in, except you didn't completely fuck it up. Speaking of dicey, Everton 1, Leeds 0. Huge result for Everton, and terrible result for Leeds. And we need to talk about Illan Meslier just wandering out from his goal for that Seamus Coleman strike. It's a good hit, don't get me wrong, but why is Meslier leaving to just wander off into the box to mark no one for a cross?
I don't.
Good question. Yeah, yeah, I don't have an answer for that. You don't see goals like that
level.
really ever. Yeah, no.
Because you don't have goalies just going for a fucking
I remember
walk.
Van Persie scored that goal against Barcelona once. What's his face? Valdez did something similar. Not quite as bad. I don't know. Like, Meslier, every time I want to defend him, he just does something stupid. It's just like, I know you're a young keeper, like, you're learning your trade, but come on, protect your net. That's literally that's your whole job description.
Yeah. Keep the goal. Keep the goal. That's what you have to do. Don't wander off.
He can be a clown car sometimes, but great finish by Coleman. Quick thinking.
Yeah.
Good vision to see.
I'm still, like, struggling with the Meslier thing. Like, everything else just pales in comparison to it because Everton don't have any strikers. Who are you marking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what Dyke said. Or Dyke said midweek. He said, "I'm gonna look into a new mattress for who's Everton's striker, Louis. Yeah, he's gonna look into a new mattress. Maybe that'll help with his injuries.
Imagine you're sleeping and Sean Dyche is just towering over you. Or even worse, he's under your bed, just whispering to you in that gravelly voice of his. But at this point, just anything to get Calvert-Lewin back onto the pitch, right?
Yeah, I just found that was pretty. Hey, he's in depth. This guy, he goes really deep to get his players, fit and ready to play. So hats off to him.
I unabashedly love Sean Dyche, so I'm all for it. Let's move on. Brighton 0, Fulham 1. Game of 7th against 6th, and a wonderful return from XG Brighton. Our old friends are back again. Just couldn't score.
Chances in this one.
Just couldn't finish it off.
Was it Solomon that scored at
Yeah.
the end?
They should bid 100 mil for Dusan Vlahovic.
Well, even for the goal they conceded, Fulham gave the ball away in their half, which would have led to a breakout, and the two Brighton guys, I forget who it was, they run into each other and then lose the ball, and then it was a pass downfield, and then it was actually a nice finish. I forget who it was who scored the goal. Solomon. Yeah, it was a really nice far post finish too for the goal, and smash and grab is what it was at the end for Fulham. And like you said, 6th place, right, for Fulham right now.
6
Damn,
7.
damn.
Tommy, how does it feel? How does it feel seeing your fierce West London rivals
They're having
in 6th?
They're having the season I thought we'd be having.
Does it fill you with rage?
No, I'm too gutted with Chelsea to really be angry, to be honest.
I thought you were going to say dead
God,
inside.
he's reached the. So did I.
No, it's just it's really impressive what Fulham's doing. 6th place. Good stuff. Well, hats off to them.
Yeah, to round out the Premier League results, as we alluded to, Bournemouth managed to pick up a 1-0 win away to Wolves. Big result for them. I think that pulls them out of the relegation zone. And Brentford dropped points at home against Crystal Palace, drawing 1-1. Which brings us to...
I was going to say, do Palace just draw every game? Literally every time I see them, that's
They are the most mid-table team.
Weird team.
Exactly.
They've taken Southampton's place as being just completely mid-table.
Just
uninteresting.
there.
Yeah.
Just there.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the more serious topic of the Canadian women's national team. Recently, there has been a pay dispute that's come to light between the Canadian women's national team and Canada Soccer, and this got as far as a protest where the women's national team refused to train and threatened to not play their I think they're playing the She Believes Cup right now. I think they threatened not to play their games in that. Canada Soccer threatened legal action, so the players had to unfortunately back down from that threat, and they did play. I believe they lost the US in their opening game, but the situation around this pay dispute and protest stems from just a lack of funding for the women's team. And reading into it is they're just not... The Women's World Cup is this summer.
Yeah, is it in Australia?
Mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And the women's team's preparations are being hampered. There's training days being cut, coaches being cut, fewer squad members being invited to training camps. Just a lack of preparation especially compared to what the men got for Qatar last year. And it's shocking to see how poorly the Canadian women's national team is being treated by Canada Soccer.
Yeah, I think some of their demands are equal pay with the men's team going forward, or at least equitable pay. But like you said, investment in equal investment in their programs, and what I think they also they have an issue with staffing. Like, they're severely understaffed as well, in terms of
Yep, that was part of these so-called
Yeah.
budget cuts that Canada Soccer was imposing.
Yeah, we've been here before in terms of, because this is similar to what the U.S. women's national team had to go through. Was it 4 years ago, or I can't remember now how many years ago? But yeah, it's can't say it's a surprise that we're in this situation again. It really sucks that this is happening right before during their preparations for the World Cup. The World Cup is as far as we say, for the men's game, it's the pinnacle. For the women's game, it's almost everything, Like, the national team is where most of these players make their money. And, yeah, it's for them to still be having payment issues and budget cuts it's a bit sad, especially when it's compared to a lot of programs in the men's game. It's not that big of a leap to get the pay to an equitable point. But
You remember when I think it was back in, was it last fall or last September, when the Canadian where the men's team was having their dispute with I think getting more pay?
yeah,
I think it was something about that. And then the women said that, you know what, we want the same, and or nothing, like, or not nothing, but we want the same, and that's what we're saying. And since then they've had like zero progress in terms of getting anywhere, and they have every right to ask for the same amount of money that the men are getting, because like they've been
more
by
successful.
far.
The
more
men's team.
successful.
I'm sorry, like for we've sung the praises of the men's team over the last year or so, but in terms of the international stage, the Canadian men's team is not a very successful team. They've only just qualified for a World Cup. The Canadian women's team, they've got an Olympic gold medal. They've been a consistently successful team for decade and a half now,
pretty much, yeah.
if not longer.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing for Canada Soccer that it's come to this point, but unfortunately, like you said, it's embarrassing, but not surprising.
Yeah, I think what's basically happened is initially the investment being put into the women's game compared to the rest of the world, apart from the US, was a bit superior. So there was a bit of a spike in terms of performance, but teams are starting to catch up now, and a lot of their European counterparts' investment is finally starting to go. We've seen it in England, and we saw how that investment has eventually led to a successful European Championship triumph. Was it last summer? It was last summer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
The Lionesses did really well in their own home state, home nation, and yeah, it's ongoing. It's just right there in the background. I think the Canadian women, they played in purple, right? Against the
purple for protest. Yeah,
They wore purple warm-up shirts, I believe, or had like purple armbands or something.
Okay,
like
I thought
that.
they played in purple. I know that they showed up to training with their shirts like inside out to cover up any sponsorships and protests. Like, they're trying anything to just get as many eyes on this as possible, because the more it's in the public eye, like, the more pressure the Canadian Soccer Association is under to actually do something about it. Their statements are very bland. We respect all the demands of the players, and they're being considered, blah blah blah. Like, it's not really.
It's a bullshit corporate statement. Well, the interesting side of this might be Canada Soccer's relationship with Canada Soccer Business, which is the entity that represents Canada Soccer's corporate partnerships and broadcast rights. Like, I'm not as familiar as I should be on their relationship with each other, but it seems a weird kind of thing. You don't normally have a separate entity representing a football federation's like corporate partnerships, broadcast rights, that sort of. That's the stuff that brings in a lot of money for Canada Soccer. Why is it being represented by this external party?
Sounds. I don't want to say it sounds sketchy, but
I'm just like, it's just look. I'm not gonna make any claims at this point, but it's dicey. It's dicey as fuck. The guy who's the CEO of Canada Soccer Business, I'm just gonna call him CSB, so I'm not saying Canada Soccer over and over. The CEO of CSB is also the commissioner of the Canadian Premier League. So it looks like there's a lot of little tangled webs here. And I don't know, this should be a time when Canada Soccer is putting more money into the national teams, more money into grassroots. This is their chance to capitalize. We have a men's World Cup coming to Canada in 4 years. We have a successful women's team. And for the first time, we also have a successful-ish men's team at the same time. Use this instead of fucking over your players.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen any sort of response from Canada Soccer either in terms of all these vocal protests. I don't think they've responded officially, or nothing's come of it just yet. I know Canada played another game, was it yesterday? So there's no progress that's been made in terms of them getting more funding for this World Cup as of yet, which is not great.
They played a game after the U.S.?
They played Brazil, I believe, yesterday.
Okay.
They won.
Okay.
That's still... Hopefully they come to resolutions, because...
I will say that from what I'm seeing, CSB are saying that they offered incremental cash to Canada Soccer and encourage Canada Soccer to hold a send-off series for the Women's World Cup. So some like home games and stuff. And it just... interesting. And the Canadian players are apparently not allowed to go into any specifics on the CSB arrangement. So everything about CSB seems very suspicious, and everything about Canada Soccer also seems very suspicious.
Yeah, it's something that I just feel for the players, right? Because
they should be preparing for the biggest tournament of their careers, and instead they're having to deal with this bullshit.
We can only hope they come up to they find some kind of resolution quickly, because the last thing we want is this hanging over their heads during the tournament. So they are running out of time, but yeah, I look forward to a day when these disputes are no longer a thing, because it just doesn't make sense. Just do what's right. Yeah.
It shouldn't be difficult. But I guess that's just about everything we had to cover today. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 44Duke. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Tommy, are you still hanging in there?
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to the midweek Champions League games. Madrid and Liverpool should be a good one.
Are you looking forward to them because Chelsea don't play?
I don't think I'm going to be watching Chelsea, man. I'm just going to watch everyone else play.
Tommy, you have to do a podcast once a week where one of your main things is to talk about Chelsea.
Remember when Tommy was like, well...
If I have to go through it
do you
last
remember
season,
those times?
you can go through it this season.
Good old days, hey? Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, Tommy.
I'm looking forward to seeing how will we say, Barcelona's creative relationships with the referees plays out on Thursday. So I forgot to bring that up earlier. We've had some great moments.
It's
a fucking disgrace.
Considering they're getting investigated for paying off refs now. Yeah. Oh my god! If there is any skullduggery during that game, I'm coming for you.
Is Casemiro available in that game? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna be on Yeah,
He's
there
going to
we
get
go.
sent off, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, pleasure as always, is there. Enjoyed the chat.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.